Hello, and welcome back to Bloodborne. I am Swift Sword Rush, and we are playing all the way through the game. We are doing all of the main game bosses and all of the DLC bosses, and at the moment, we're actually in the DLC. We are very, very deep. This is about 2/3 of the way through the DLC. We just have one. Well, we have a few more bosses, but we have one final area to go through. So, essentially, the opening, like the kind of nightmarish realm area, is sort of a third of the available DLC, and then we went through the research hall, which is extremely extensive, but we got through it real quickly. So those areas, I skipped through them very, very quickly. So we pretty much don't explore any of it, and maybe one day we'll explore it a little bit more deeply and get to kind of poke around in each of the cracks and crannies of the game. But for now, we're just going to do these bosses. The boss that we have coming up here is actually my favorite boss of the game, of Bloodborne completely. Like, this boss is my favorite. I already have a video up on here of me beating her in BL4, which was particularly difficult. Oh crap. We're going to go, and before we do anything with that, we're going to go and revive our blood vials in the Hunter's Dream. There's a lot to talk about with Lady Maria, which is so she is my favorite. She's my favorite boss, and she also has my favorite boss music. So you can kind of tell that I like her. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what to say. I like everything about that part of the game. But we are going to take a moment. You can see this doll, and the reason I'm taking a moment here is because this doll is actually what players originally thought Maria had become. Because I think the voice acting is done by the same person, and she's the correct height and has a very similar face to Lady Maria. And there's some lore in the game kind of suggesting that maybe Gearman, who we can't find Gearman to talk to him really right now, but it definitely feels like Gearman modeled the doll after her. But then once the DLC came out, a lot of the lore with Lady Maria changed, and it's very confusing, and people talk about the problems with Lady Maria's lore in people much more in depth in the lore aspect of things. I just kind of scratched the surface on some stuff. So it does seem like Lady Maria and Gearman were compatriots, and that Gearman taught her how to fight, or maybe helped bring her up to the level of strength that she's at, like kind of helped her find her inner strength, I guess, or something like that, to be able to fight really, really well. And then at some point, she actually decided not to continue fighting. She didn't like what was happening in the healing church and tried to give it up.
A corpse should be left well alone.
But it does seem like her soul is kind of trapped here in the Hunter's Nightmare, and she tries to stop the player from finding out what really happened. And I think that's just kind of part of her punishment, maybe, for her involvement in this, is having to stand guard and sort of in perpetuity defend the secrets of the first hunters. Now, there is some more lore stuff, but let's go ahead and get back into the battle here. Her first phase, she has 3 different phases. Her first phase is pretty easy to get around if you know what you're doing. You just kind of always go to the right. You can almost walk around her to stop her from hitting you, but I am kind of being careful because I do know that she has a lot of... being in so far in New Game Pluses, you just have to be more careful about things. So I'm trying to make sure I don't get too hit by her. I have practiced on her a lot just to be able to do the BL4 thing. So let's see if what she does here. She can be parried because of, you know, like, because she's humanoid, she can be parried and backstabbed. And we may try to get some backstabs in on her, but this weapon isn't quite as fast as we need it to be to do backstabs effectively. There we go. So this is her second phase. We're going to try... She will absolutely annihilate us with some of her attacks if we're not careful. So, again, just like... if we can, trying not to get into a position where she can do a combo attack. Most of her difficulty is going to be in how she can do rapid fire attacks one after another. Now it's going to get even worse. Oh, there we go. That was a good hit. See, now she has fire, and so there is a lot of lore about why she can do this fire stuff. And it's because it seems like she's actually related to the people at Canehurst, and they are a special group of people from underground. So in the chalices there are people that can wield fire, and it seems that the Canehurst people evolved, essentially are descendants of those people, so the Canehurst people seem to be able to control fire as well, or may have the possibility of it. And Lady Maria is from them as well. No! Crap. So she has the ability to control blood and fire because of that, because of her ancestry, essentially. Another thing about the doll, though, the connection with the doll, is that you can see the doll kneeling at a particular grave in the Hunter's Dream a lot. And that grave has a corresponding one in the, essentially the real world. Not really the real world, but like sort of our dimension. There's you know, like basically a Hunter's Dream equivalent place in called the Old Workshop. And in the Old Workshop at that grave, there is a thing called the Hunter's Bone. Oh my gosh. Stay away. Nope. Don't do that. I need to heal. There's a Hunter's Bone, and and like the quick step that Lady Maria does, like seemingly being able to disappear when she does her dodge attacks. That right there, what we just saw. That is sort of what it looks like with the Hunter's Bone when you use it. So it seems like maybe she was the one who developed the Hunter's Bone tool. And so it's like the doll kneeling at the grave seems to be sort of paying homage to her former self. But if that was the case, then if that were the case, then it doesn't make sense anymore that Lady Maria is in the Hunter's Nightmare, like her soul being trapped in the Hunter's Nightmare. So it's kind of up to interpretation on what you want to believe. If you want to believe the doll is essentially Lady Maria, or if you... I mean, like, you have to reconcile it one way or another, the doll connections to... sorry, the connections that the doll has to Lady Maria and the fact that she's in the Hunter's Dream. You have to basically choose one or the other and figure out how you want to decide that works out or not. Oops. Oh. I screwed that dodge up so badly. We'll get there. We'll get there. We have a lot of time. It would have been nice to get her on one, like one try, but that's kind of how the way it goes. Sometimes you just get unlucky. And you can kind of, I did do that one parry, so that is promising, and maybe I'll try to get some more parries in here. I used to do a lot more parries on Lady Maria, but I haven't as much since doing BL4. BL4 parries just don't help you very much, and so like learning how to dodge her attacks has been more important in a sense. Oof, the tracking on that hit is so garbage. Oof. You see it can like wrap around and hit you. It's super dumb. I dislike it. I dislike how easily she can hit you with it. And oh, there we go. That was a good parry. Come on, try to do something again. I don't know what that was about. The parries get a lot trickier in her second and third phase. A lot of times her attacks can still end up hitting you even though you got the parry, and so that kind of makes it difficult to get attacks in like you want to. So I just like be careful when you start trying to do parries in her second and third phase if you're attempting this. Oof. Got to get a little bit better with my timing here. I also highly recommend learning to dodge to one side of her or the other. Here's where you can actually take really good advantage of the delay in her attacks to be able to get in some damage. Is when she does any of her charge up attacks, dodge it and then try to get a backstab on her if you can. That's the best openings for backstabs, essentially. Oof. I need to actually try to... Oh, no. Get in a couple of... Oh, dang it. That was bad. That was bad. Okay. Let's try this again and not get one-shotted by really ridiculously strong attacks. There we go. That was really good. And now we can probably just... that was kind of a cheap shot there, but I don't mind whatsoever. I'm just going to take it. And now we're going to get to see something really cool with the Celestial Dial. So the thing that she was hiding is a memory, and within this memory is okay. So I guess since we're getting here, we'll see something here in a second. So we're going to unlock this astral clock tower that allows us to get into... I can't believe we didn't damage her chair. That's awesome. So here's flowers that presumably she left because of the living failures. Then we climb through the astral clock tower and into almost a new world. Seemingly a new world. And in fact, here's a little nice tidbit. Looking down, there's Yharnam. We are above Yharnam in the dream. Like that down there was the Hunter's Nightmare portion that we had traveled through. So you can actually see it from up here. So we are sort of physically above what was going on below. Now we get to talk to this guy. Blasphemous murderers, blood-crazed fiends, atonement for the wretches by the wrath of Mother Kos. Mercy for the poor wizened child. Mercy, oh please. Atonement for the wretches. Lay the curse of blood upon them and their children's children forevermore. Each wretched birth will plunge each child into a lifetime of misery. I think he just says the same thing. Oh, let the pungence of Kos cling like a mother's devotion. Yeah, okay, so now he's repeating. Okay, so he is... kind of get a good look at his face. I guess you can't really tell with this guy. We'll see some of the other ones come up. This place has been sort of corrupted by the blood of a great one. A great one washed on the shore and poisoned the water, so to speak, and transformed all of the village people into these kind of fish creatures. So what happened was, once Yharnam got reports of this happening, because presumably this fishing hamlet is not too far away from, physically away from where Yharnam is, the first hunters, Gearman and Lady Maria included, came here, maybe just them specifically, we don't exactly know, came here and essentially murdered all of the villagers and killed the Great One that was still there. So, the Great One was with child, and the child of the Great One is essentially giving this place a physical reality. And we know that the hunters are here because if you look at this person hanging here, you see the way that their arms are shaped, how it's like essentially their body makes a long stick with the arms crossed in front of them. Well, if we look, let's see if we can see the hunter. That's the hunter symbol. That's the symbol of being a hunter in this game. This is what they would do to people. They would cut off your head and drain your body of all of its blood. That's what would happen as sort of becoming a monster. So my theory about all of this is that each different Great One's blood can be used to transform humanity into different things. So the werewolves and vampires seem to be connected in the Great One blood that they've received. And let me think. The kin that we saw, the kind of gray alien stuff. So here's one of the fish. You can see it has fins and everything. Especially that one right there. We are going to just blaze our way through this. We are not going to bother with any of these people. Oops. Would you stop that? Oh, this is... Oh, come on. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. I used to be able to run through this area a lot better. Okay, anyway, so the kin are, I think, essentially corrupted humans from Abridas, daughter of the Cosmos. I think that werewolves and vampires in this game are essentially descended from the moon presence, which we haven't experienced at all yet. And then... let me think. Oh, and these people are essentially from Kos. So let's do this, and this should help us a little bit. Although we do want our echoes back, so we are going to probably have to kill somebody. There we go. Don't leave me alone. Don't touch me. And we are going to just keep running because our lantern is actually right here. And we should be out of range of basically everything now. Okay. And poor old Simon. This is where he ended up. Simon was one of the other hunters. He ended up getting killed by the beast hunter assassin. So this is where he rests ultimately. Oh well. Let me think, because we did bypass. There is a really big guy, so you can see him down there now. We're just going to do this because we have not killed the Beasthide Hunter, or the Beasthide Assassin, and he makes appearances on this bridge, and we do not want to deal with him whatsoever. He's kind of nasty. So let's go ahead and open up this gate. So in case we screw up really badly, we won't have to do it again. And it also gives me a chance to redo this blue elixir. Oh, come here. Sorry, I got a little disoriented for a second. Well, let us go straight over here. Doop-de-doo. Haha. Miss me. We also, there's another Beasthide Assassin appearance right in here, but like I said, we're just going to dodge through all of it and hope that he doesn't find us down here. Because we are actually at the next boss already. Not the final, like, it's technically the final boss of the DLC, but in terms of like storyline, so there is one boss that we've kind of purposefully missed, and we'll go back and beat that boss, but you see him at the beginning, and we didn't have the item that we needed to be able to get to him. So if you wanted to know where the shortcut stuff is, these are the shortcuts. It's thankfully not too shabby. Let's go ahead and go back to the Hunter's Dream so that we can re-get our blood vials and our bullets, because we are in for one heck of a fight. Orphan of Kos is one of the hardest bosses in the game, and yeah, I guess we'll see how we go. Oh, I guess I should explain exactly why I like Lady Maria so much. We didn't really talk about that. The reason that I like Lady Maria as much as I do is because of how her fight is very technical, in the sense that you have to know how to dodge, you have to know how to, I mean, I guess you don't have to know how to parry, but if you don't parry, then you should know how to get backstabs on her, and it's like, it takes a lot of skill to be able to beat her because of how technical it is. It's not a matter of just like, okay, run, and because like we had the one Reborn, where the trick is to just run around and break its limbs until it dies. Like, that's a really, like, sort of cheap way to kill it. But it's like, that's one of the most, if not the most effective strategy for defeating the one Reborn. And a lot of the bosses kind of have something like that, where you can kind of break their attack pattern down to kind of cheese your way through it. And I don't really want to call it cheese, because I don't really consider most of it to be cheese. I think there's definitely better strategies than other strategies, but the fact of the matter is that Lady Maria doesn't like necessarily have a cheese strategy. You just have to be good at the game. And being good at the, like, I like that aspect. I feel good about beating her because it like kind of reinforces you know, like the kind of thought that maybe I actually am kind of okay at this game. Okay, so what we're approaching now is, here's most of the village. They are over there down by the shore. That is Kos, Mother Kos that they were talking about, the great one that washed ashore and was killed by the hunters. And the cutscene is going to reveal the Orphan of Kos. It's a very icky sound. I guess the other kind of visualization of part of this is that a lot of Lovecraftian and cosmic horror involves the ocean, involves things coming from the ocean, because the ocean represents mystery, like absolute mystery. And not only just mystery, but sort of like all-powerful mystery that's unknowable. We just don't have any good idea about a lot of the ocean depths, and so it's like not knowing what's down there produces a type of horror that's very different from other types of horror. So Kos and Orphan of Kos kind of represent the I guess maybe the pinnacle, or one of the pinnacles of that type of horror. So Orphan is another boss that is really technically like requires a lot of technical stuff, and the good thing about it is that we actually we have a pretty good handle on Kos. Oh, sorry, but the good thing about Kos is that oh, come on, I screwed that up really badly. Oh no, no. Sorry, I'm talking, and so I wasn't paying attention as much as I should. He can be parried. He's humanoid, so he can be parried. He can be backstabbed. That provides the player a lot of really good opportunity. Like, there's a lot of really good opportunity to take advantage of his blind spots and his Orphan of Kos' capabilities to get your backstabs in and get parries in when you need to. So we're going to try to take advantage of that. We'll see how it goes. I think we got one more try before we kind of throw this into another episode, and if we don't get him this time, then we will almost certainly beat him in the next episode. So also another kind of nice thing about it is that Orphan of Kos always starts all the way on the beach, so you have a lot of time to kind of get up to him and sort of formulate a plan of what you want to do and how you want to attack him. Oh, there we go. That's a backstab right there. So when he jumps high over your head, that's a good spot to try to get something in on him. I thought he was going to give me a parry opportunity there. Oh, that should have been a parry. Which is okay. Nope, I was too far away when I dodged. There we go, that was a good dodge. Or a good parry, I mean. Gives us a good visceral, which we, since our skill is up as high as it is, we get really good viscerals. And so we're going to take full advantage of that as much as possible. Ooh, that was really close. Okay, so after he goes to his second phase, I highly recommend, he does that at about half health, I highly recommend running out here. You can run out here before this if you want to, but this is a huge, huge area. I originally thought when I first beat Kos, I beat him on the shore. I mean, like, up there. But you can actually come really far out here to do stuff. And dodge that stuff. He's going to do... throw that... Oh. When he shouts, he has electricity coming out of his mother's body. Oh my gosh, how did I miss that? Nope, 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 nope. Ooh, okay. Oh man, this is... I'm getting very close to getting smashed into the ground by his attacks. And the reason that it's good to like get out way out here is because it makes it easy to dodge those electrical attacks. So that's kind of, it gives you a lot of space to dodge his attacks, but then also the electrical attacks are really hard to dodge if you're not careful. If you're too close to Mother of Kos, like her body. Oh no. Nope, nope, don't do that. Nope, don't do that. No! Ah, crap. Okay, well, like I said, we're gonna go and stop here, and we will do another episode, and hopefully we will be beating Kos. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you are enjoying this. I hope you enjoy my banter about this silly game that I like playing. And I don't know, maybe one day you'll try it for yourself and try to beat it. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you again next time.